The brain is like logic gates, and God's ideas are mathematical logic. This man from MIT claims. Warren McCulloch spent most of his life saying that neurons in the brain are logic gates like those in digital computers, and that the brain can be understood as a Turing machine, a universal digital computer, that is. He says, if you know theology at all, well, you'll realize that the ideas in the mind of God are mathematical and logic. Dr. Warren McCulloch, the genius Yale graduate, neuropsychologist, cybernetician, and MIT researcher, proposed the first neural network in an MIT research lab in 1943. He was raised with the expectation of becoming a Christian minister, but became fascinated with mathematics instead. He feels that mathematics represent the ideas of God and has pursued this interest throughout his scientific career. He's always wanted to understand the concept of a number and how a person can truly know a number. He admits he has grasped part of this question, but still searching for complete understanding. Dr. McCulloch and his younger collaborator Walter Pitts were thus the originators of today's widely supported computational model of the mind. Their work inspired theories of cellular automata, in which individual cells live or die according to inputs from their surrounding cells. In their 1943 paper, A Logic Calculus of the Ideas Immanent in Nervous Activity, Dr. McCulloch and Pitts wrote, because of the all or none character of nervous activity, neural events and the relations among them can be treated by means of propositional logic. It's found that the behavior of every net can be described in these terms, with the addition of more complicated logical means for nets containing circles, and that for any logical expression satisfying certain conditions, one can find a net behaving in the fashion it describes. It's shown that many particular choices among possible neurophysiological assumptions are equivalent, in the sense that for every net behaving under one assumption, there exists another net which behaves under the other and gives the same result, although perhaps not in the same time. Various applications of the calculus are discussed. A logical calculus of the ideas immanent in nervous activity, page 99. The McCulloch-Pitts article also compared the neuron's behavior to that of Turing machine, which Alan Turing proposed in the 1936 paper. In the 1930s, Dr. McCulloch studied logic at Yale in a course taught by Friedrich Fitch, which was based on the important work Principia Mathematica by Bertrand Russell and Alfred North Whitehead. Fitch was also Ruth Barkin Marcus's thesis advisor, and her ideas about the necessity of identity influenced Saul Kripke. Even though information travels along neurons in the brain is not like a computer network. Brain processes are not algorithms, and there's no central processing unit, CPU, or distributed parallel processing. Simply put, humans are not machines, and the brain is not a computer. However, we can see McCulloch as the first thinker to suggest a solution to the mind-body problem that combines a non-physical logical mind with physical mathematical hardware, as indicated by the title of his 1965 book, Embodiments of Mind. McCulloch has conducted research, including studying the frog's eye, to gain insights into the brain. He acknowledges that the human brain is extremely complex and that it will take a long time to fully understand it. In 1959, McCulloch and Pitts worked with Jerome Letvid and Humberto Maturana to write an important paper called What the Frog's Eye Tells a Frog's Brain. And this paper was later included in McCulloch's book, Embodiments of Mind, published in 1965. McCulloch was disappointed by his work, and Pitts may have felt even worse. The reason for their disappointment is that the frog's actions depend on the light patterns hitting its retina, which happens before the brain processes any information. The frog's response are parts of genetic makeup as a species, and it shows how successful experiments from the frog's ancestors are stored in its brain, allowing the frog to repeat successful actions like catching a bug with its tongue while it sees something similar. Dr. McCulloch distinguishes the human nervous system from computers. Traditional computers process information step by step, meaning that an error in one step affects all subsequent steps. In contrast, some modern machines work in parallel, comparing results before proceeding. However, he proposes an even more advanced idea, a type of machine that processes information like a river, where different streams of information mix together before producing an output. He uses the term anastomatic to describe this intermingling of information. McCulloch mentioned that neurons' brain cells die daily, especially after reaching a certain age. He noted that even though neurons die, we can still function well into old age, and he believes this research would address how the brain copes with this cell loss. He speculated about the future, questioning whether we could create beings that might surpass humans. He believed that if machines were to survive humanity, they would continue in the direction humans were heading, but he thought they would lack true purpose once humans, of course, were gone. He stated that machines would never have the same emotional connection to others that humans have, and expressed skepticism that machines could genuinely feel love or attachment. Despite his skepticism, he suggested that if he could clearly define the mechanisms of emotions, it might be possible to create machines that could replicate emotional connections. In 1952, Dr. McCulloch moved to Massachusetts Institute of Technology MIT Research Laboratory, where he worked with other leading researchers such as Norbert Wiener and Claude Shannon. He also helped to originate the first ever conference on the topic of artificial intelligence, held at Dartmouth College in 1956, and where Warren McCulloch's contribution to the field of artificial intelligence and theoretical neuroscience have had a lasting impact on the field. His work laid foundations for the development of artificial neural networks, and many of his ideas are still widely studied and applied in the field today. And this is on Hows and Whys by Vicky Verma. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. My Patreon account, the daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.